All right. The first thing I want to say is that Jarvis is in this movie. Okay, Jarvis.
Uh, well, if we're going to say that, there's a lot of people in this movie.
Well, I guess besides who's that actor? His name is Warren something, right? Paul Bettany. I'm sorry, Paul
Paul
Bettany.
Benton, yeah, Paul Bettany. I was going to say it was Warren. I don't miss it.
Um.
But Paul Bettany's in here. Johnny Depp's in here. Captain Jack Sparrow's in here, and of course the lady that was the bad person in Iron Man 3,
Oh, and also I remember her from The Prestige.
Rebecca Hall.
Yeah, Rebecca Hall.
Well, she's been a lot of stuff, dude.
Yeah,
Prestige was the one I think one of our better.
yeah,
Well,
I
out of
remember
a
her
lot of
better than
stuff that we
that.
watch, but no, she's been in a lot of stuff though. That's the problem
Yeah.
though.
Well,
She
first
was
of
supposed to
all,
be the villain. She was supposed to be the villain in Iron Man 3.
oh, okay. Well,
They did. They decided they couldn't sell action figures.
I
That's
just
what I'm
want to
saying.
say this movie is actually pretty good, but then what I might not watch again. How did you feel about it?
This is the second time I watched it. All
Okay,
right.
this is my first time watching this
All right.
movie.
This is the second time I watched it. It's way better than the first time I remember watching it.
Oh, really?
Way better than the first time I watched it. And
How
plus, you
how
should
long
like this.
ago? How long ago?
Oh, I don't know, man.
So it's
Five
been a
years
while.
maybe.
Also, it's been
How
a
old is
while.
this movie? How old is this movie? Yeah, it's been a while. Because I don't even think I got to see the first.
2014.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's been that probably that long because I think I watched it on television after it come out not too long. But
Oh,
I think I missed the first part because I don't remember a lot of this part. But I think I did see where he gets put in the machine. I forgot a lot of this movie, and
okay.
now watching it again, I was like, oh, this is a way better movie. By the way, this notice it's also got Cecilia Murphy in it,
Yes.
Cole Hauser.
Cole
It's got a lot
House.
of stars in it.
It does.
And if Morgan Freeman, how do we forget Morgan
Oh,
Freeman's in
Morgan
it too?
Freeman. Yeah, I forgot
But
he
you got
was
to
in this
also
movie.
remember, this is pretty much. I mean, I don't know. I've never heard of the director, but this is Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan's cinematographer.
This is also Christopher Nolan. Don't is that the director? Christopher Nolan's cinematographer is the. This is
Yeah.
produced by Christopher Nolan.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's why it's so good.
And then yeah, the Wally Fisher, he's a cinematographer for a lot of Christopher Nolan films.
Okay, well, he
Yeah,
did a good job. I thought he did a pretty good job on this one.
he shot all the Dark Knight stuff,
You can't say I'm going to rush out
Memento,
and go, oh yeah, I'm
Inception.
going to rush out and see this movie. But no, this movie was a pretty good movie.
No,
There's a lot of good ideas on it.
oh, it's a lot of good ideas. I think maybe the first time if you ever watched it in 2014 or maybe close to that time, it probably because at that time technology haven't driven to where we are watching it to today.
Yeah.
Because right now we have a lot of talks about AI, but when I saw this, right, I do like it, and because I remember what you
Well,
told me.
this
You
okay,
said there was like a kind of horror film, but like I could
but it
see
does it now.
it doesn't right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Well, that's
So
because I'm watching it completely different now. I guess it's the way I
oh,
watched it.
I
And
want
it may because I missed, like I said, I think I missed the first of the movie.
and I want to say this movie it doesn't really have that protagonist or antagonist feel. It's just like, hey, this is just the way this storyline is. There's not really a good guy or a bad guy. Like the computer is not a bad guy.
Well, it did play. Well, he probably in the end. Well, in the end, but we didn't know which direction it was going, and they
Yeah.
didn't really know until the very, very,
Yep.
very
I
end.
didn't know the way that it
And
was going
still,
either.
though, I don't know. Though he can still be the bad guy in the end of the movie because of the links he took and the things he did
So,
to for humanity.
oh,
I
okay.
mean, he
For
was trying to
that
fix it. He was
aspect,
trying to fix it. Yeah, he's trying to fix it in the end. It's like, oh, I could do all this, but it's like, but where does your authority end?
so in that aspect, right? I think when Johnny Depp's character died, that is the last of Johnny Depp. So when they move his consciousness, right, he's actually accomplishing a lot of stuff for his wife.
Yeah, he was doing everything for her
Yeah, it
because
was the way I saw it.
He didn't want it because he never really wanted any of that stuff.
Yep.
He was just trying to make a better world for her. But the problem is, there was a point where he didn't really need to make a better world for her because he was going to upload her to the system. Which after that, he could have done. They wouldn't have needed anybody on
Yeah.
Earth.
You know what? I don't know what your favorite part is when moving into from consciousness to the computer, right? My favorite part is able to manipulate bank accounts. That was one of my favorite things. Like, oh, now
Yeah,
we can fund this project.
yeah.
No, I thought this movie was really good. Like, I might not
Well,
watch it
actually, he
again for a long
manipulated the
time.
market. Yeah,
Oh
he
man,
manipulated the market to get that money for a company that
for
they just started and bought land, and they probably did other land deals that were fair.
mm,
It just didn't look that way at the beginning because we thought, oh, well, he just stole all this money. Well, technically, he may have kind of did some illegal stuff, but then he gathered up all the money. Because I mean, everything it's shown is to make it look like he's doing something wrong, but at the end he was doing something good.
yes, and then
But it
like
depends on where your ideas lie because he healed all those people, cured all that's healed them,
so
and all he asked.
I like that too. That's what I would have done, but then I wouldn't upload a part of myself to them. The
Well,
healing was really great.
technically he could have left. He could have left and come in, and a lot of those people though probably felt that they owed him a debt because he didn't charge them money.
Oh, hold on. Let me think about that aspect. I would have probably done the same thing, like because let's just say because I had cancer, right? But then if you were able to
Yeah,
heal me like that without any pain and suffering, I wouldn't know how to repay that. That's a really good point to
yeah.
bring
A
up. Like,
lot of people can't.
yeah, because like it,
That's
yeah, a
what's
lot of people
loyalty. It was
can't.
more because see, okay, but you got to think. A lot of people saw it as slave,
Oh, yes.
but on their side, it may have been just gratitude.
Well, also now that I think about it, like even let's just say maybe without him, right? Maybe I would have been dead. Like now you give me a new life. Like why can't I
Okay, we
help
would go ahead
serve
with what's
you?
the
You
first
know?
guy? Remember when those two town people beat the crap
Oh,
out of that guy?
the foreman,
They
right?
killed him.
Yeah,
They
they
killed the
killed him.
foreman.
Yep.
They pretty much. Well, he wasn't dead yet,
Yet.
but he would have been dead.
Yeah, he would definitely have been dead.
So they repaid him. He gave him more strength. So that foreman's thinking, huh? You come into my town, it's a crap hole, and fix it. Give me all this money, made me tons of money, made me have a good life. So you fixed me once, and then I almost get killed over money, and you fixed me again. You made me stronger, healthier, and longer life. So if you want to upload to me for a little bit, all right, cool with it.
Because I would have been dead anyway.
Because he's thinking I'm just an employee here, anyways.
Yeah. I mean,
I
there's
mean,
so many
probably,
ways to look around this. Though,
yeah,
you
the
know?
story don't give you a full deal because you got to think the real thing is because we're saying there's not a bad guy. There is a kind of a bad guy because at the beginning of the movie, those people that want to kill everybody,
the
they're a
terrorists.
bad guy.
Yes.
The terrorists, and they're terrorists all the way through this movie because they are the ones who caused Transcendence.
Yeah,
There would have been
it
Johnny
is.
Depp. Johnny Depp and Rebecca Hall would have never did what they did
If they
did it out of
didn't try to kill
desperation.
him, yep.
Yeah, and that's the research that they were funding was in so many different groups. It would have never came together
Yeah.
to ever get to the point where there was nanotechnology.
You know what's really cool though? This is kind of like hunting Pablo Escobar when they actually work with the terrorist group just to bring this thing down. You know?
Yeah, well,
And
the
I didn't
thing
like
is-
the terrorist group, like the way that the writing is. Even Johnny Depp in the movie he says like it is kind of ironic. They talk
Well-
about technology, but they gotta use technology
Yeah, but
just
here's
to
the
do
nice
this.
thing. Think about this also.
Yeah.
All the people that died in this movie, nobody that Johnny Depp's character touched died. The terrorists killed people and the government killed people, and that was it.
And they actually hurt the people that he actually was helping.
Yep.
They actually said
they-
that like this person's supposed to be dead, but then like you can't say that about the blind guy,
You
the
got to think.
little
Yeah,
girl that
this-
can't walk. Like they went.
Well, that other
you
guy
know?
wasn't supposed to be dead. He healed him, and,
Yeah.
and then they killed, and then they killed
And
him.
then they killed him.
And of course, the terrorists, they got all the people the terrorists killed. They poisoned a whole bunch of people.
Well-
so actually, depending, the problem is the bad guy is actually the good guy. The perceived good guy in this movie are the bad guys, and
Yeah.
the perceived bad guy is actually
The
turned
good
out
one.
the good guy.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I forgot about
But
that.
I think the point this is pushing that you're always fear of something
Yes,
you don't understand.
I was gonna say
But
that.
the problem
You
is
fear something
but
you don't understand.
But I also want to point this out for like the terrorists. They automatically decide they understand everything, so they're never going to be wrong. And same thing with scientists out on that point.
Yeah.
They're so much smarter than everybody. They can't do nothing wrong. But that's why we invented a nuclear weapon because that thing would have ended all wars.
Oh.
Not yet. It will end all wars. Once you use it, you're never going to everybody be dead, so you'll never be able to start a war.
So
but that's the same thing with the Gatling gun.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we brought this back before when we were talking about Captain America, right? Like Zoloff was uploaded to his consciousness was uploaded to the computer. But now, if you even with this, right? If it was Captain America or Peter Parker that was uploaded to this, it would be really good for humanity. Like someone like the Red Skull, you shouldn't upload his consciousness to a computer.
Well, I don't really think you probably shouldn't upload anybody's consciousness.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
because there is a point. Even if we ever make a machine, it's going to decide. Because this movie, at
Oh,
the end of the movie,
it's
after
driven
they
by the
destroy
machine.
him,
Yep.
yeah, it's driven by a machine. But at the end of the movie, it pretty much tells you the only way to solve all the world's problems is to get rid of humanity.
So it's like Terminator. So Terminator is right.
Basically, because even in that, he had to control people in order to fix this planet.
Yeah.
He had to do everything. He was trying to fix it underneath him, but the problem is people will not let you fix it. It's like electric cars. People are so against electric cars. I'm like, well, I mean, honestly, I'm thinking, why can't you just have both? Pick the one you want that's best for you.
Yeah,
How
and
about
just
that?
pick the one
Because
like
it's
you
like
said a
horses.
perfect example of me.
It's like horses in automobiles. Nobody ever made a law you can't ride horses. You can still get on a horse and ride town, ride it all up and
Yeah.
down the streets. But do you want to take 2 days getting to the next town?
Mm-hmm.
No. I
See,
mean, there's a lot of there's a reason there is a reason the regular automobiles replaced horses. It wasn't because somebody made them. And I think the government should never make somebody choose between technology or another technology. That's already I got a problem with that. Like the government right now already makes you choose. If you let things take their course, people will pick the better alternative.
Yeah, eventually, right? Yeah.
But the problem is when you tell somebody what to do.
That's different, yeah.
Yeah, anytime somebody perceives a threat that they're being told what to do, because see, that's what electric cars to most people. It's somebody telling them they got to drive electric
You know
cars.
what's funny?
And nobody's ever told them.
You know what's funny?
You have to do that.
A lot of people, right? Like, we're going back to that point where, like, oh, people are afraid of what they don't understand. For me, you already know my big thing about electric cars is because ever since my 20s, you know me since my 20s, I'm so upset about. Really. I'm so upset about like how do we not have an alternative source for fossil fuel, right? Like we're still using gasoline to this place.
Well, there's really nothing wrong with using gasoline.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. Let me finish my point. But it's like it's like people are like, you know, one time I'm just gonna use the technology of fax machines. People are like, it's kind of like, hey, instead of email, why don't we go back to fax? In that mindset, I feel like people don't apply the same thing to gasoline and electric, okay? For me, a lot of people always complain like, oh, you know that's burning a lot of whatever sources if you plug an electric car. I'm gonna tell you something, buddy. I don't give a flying F about that. All I care about is my conveniency. You know how much time I save not having to pump gas? And now I went back to a gasoline car, right? I freaking hate having to pump gas every couple of weeks. It's a huge inconvenience for me.
Okay. You need to settle down. That is your own.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying. Like, I don't think a lot of people like it is my own damn fault. I agree with you. But the thing is, like, what if they ever make a electric car that fits my needs? Right? That gasoline's got to go because like I'm not doing this for the environment. I'm doing this for a very selfish reason.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like cars came along because of people's own selfish reasons.
Yes.
But the problem is you got to let people's own selfish reasons take over because it usually is going to be the best deal at the deal is going to be, you know, people say, why is there no alternative? Because there's no alternative because most people think that somebody else needs to come up with an alternative instead of them coming up with an alternative.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
people always gripe and then they'll tell you their ideas, but nobody will ever put those ideas in action. I'm like, well, why are you telling me your idea?
And also, it's because
I'm not gonna do it for you.
And also because like I might have the idea, but I don't have the way to back it up.
Yeah, and
like,
I got that. Right.
I can't carry that myself.
But the problem is, a lot of these people who do these things, they didn't have any way to do it themselves either.
Oh, I know.
I mean, the guy that made Amazon, he didn't have all that.
Exactly. Yeah.
He just decided I'll do. And the problem is, Amazon wasn't even his end goal.
No, it was just selling books.
Yeah,
it was just selling books.
He was just selling books to get somewhere else.
And then he was just making things convenient for a lot of people because he already had the platform.
Technically, the same thing with Tesla. I mean, Elon Musk already had money.
And then but
he never really even wanted to do electric car because he didn't come up with that company. He wanted to do spacecraft.
Yeah.
But the technology he needs for spacecraft needs to be advanced.
Yes.
Here's a technology that's got a different deal. So he applied his stuff. He bought the company and applied it to it. That's why he's doing it. I mean, a lot of rich people just gamble and other things, but the problem is that was his goal to begin with. It's just like, here's an idea. So the problem is anybody's got an idea if they want to stick with it. They can eventually probably even sell it to somebody like Elon Musk.
I also want to say like he's the one that kind of like exactly what you said. He's the one that has the idea. Like he's the one that carried through. So he funded his
Yeah.
own
Well,
stuff, you know.
technically, yeah, but technically that wasn't his idea to begin with. He
Oh,
just
I
saw it
know.
and said, "This is a good idea.
He's like,
Why aren't we
I
doing
can
this?"
carry this if I do this
Yeah,
play. Yeah, I know.
I can actually
So
accomplish it.
it's so funny when you said that, right? Because me, Heather and I were talking. Like we went to a doctor's appointment this morning, and she was like, and I was telling her like, my dream, and you know this too. If I win the lottery, right, I am going to do my own production company because that's something I want to do. And I told you like, hey, I would like to write and produce movies, and like people around our area in the Dallas Metroplex area, there's a lot of actors. I would like to get them all together, get them a project to do, so that way they build their own resume. I would still like to do that if I win the lottery,
Yeah.
even though like if someone goes like, why would you want to work?
Ultimately, it depends on how much you win, and
Yeah,
it's got to be profitable.
yeah.
Everything you do better be profitable.
See, that's
or
the
you
thing
can't
too.
continue to do it.
Yeah, I can't continue to do it.
A lot of people got a dream and they got this goody. Oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm just if I get this money, so I'm money,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, nothing in life gives you. You can do a
It
sustained
stays
sum of
consistent.
money.
Yeah.
It's got to constantly move up.
Yep, it's got to
That's the
constantly move
problem.
up. Yep.
A lot of people think, oh, well, I got this money, I'll start this company, and they start that company.
And
The
then the risk,
company
yeah.
didn't make any money, and it stops.
Yep.
And that's the end of that idea.
It's just a huge risk that people don't think about. Like, I completely get.
You got to be
Yeah.
a capitalist too. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I mean, everybody wants. Oh, we don't.
So
I mean, you got to be the man. You got to turn in the man.
You know what?
Want stuff done.
It's so funny when now that we talk
Not
about
a
it, right?
man,
This
the man.
so this is one of those movies now we talk about it, like it makes this movie even better because I'm looking at my notes, right? This is the first time I seen an assassination attempt taken this way. Like, hey, okay, first he shoot the guy, like, but then you gotta kind of like, well, is he gonna one bullet kill? Then I love the fact that the bullet was laced with poison, so that way like you don't have to have the best shooter in the world. You just kind of make sure like just hit the person, so that way they still eventually die. Yeah,
Yeah, and he
because
suffers.
you know my thing about poison, right? Ever since I was a little kid, like okay, poison was awesome, but then now that I'm older, like oh.
So this is kind of a James Bond movie. Right?
Yeah, it is, right? Because like, isn't this how they kill one of the assassinate one of the North Korean leaders? Because they laced like a needle with poison,
Well,
and then it was able to nick
there was
whoever.
Well, I don't know if they did that, but the Russians used poison a lot. And there was a one where they stuck a needle or something inside of an umbrella.
It might be that, yeah.
Yeah, and he came across another I think it was an ambassador or something, and bumped into him,
Yes.
poked him with it, and then the guy had a heart attack, and they couldn't trace it for the longest time. Then they finally realized it was poison.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really good, and they did it really
Yeah.
nicely in the movie because, like, well, that guy, whoever took the
Those
shot,
dudes, yeah. Well, they put it in cake too. Remember? Because
the cake was, oh man,
and here's the funny thing.
I thought they were
movie.
attacked, Shane, when they were all down. We're like, what the heck's happening?
Oh yeah, yeah. It makes it look like they're attacked, but they're all poisoned. But the thing is, you already know it's bad because the guy leaves the room with the cake, and the baker is Kate Mara.
Oh, I love her.
By the way,
She's so cute.
It's fantastic. Yeah, she's okay. But she's in what
Fantastic.
you like to say?
Fantastic.
Yeah, Fantastic. She was in Fantastic.
Fantastic Four.
But anyways, you know her. She's a big name actor. I'm like, selling cake? No. In a movie, it's about technology. You already know that she's a bad person.
You know what's really good too about her character? She actually evolved with the film where like, well, she did join, like she was interning for him before, and she learned a lot, and then then she fell out.
Yeah,
of
she evolved throughout the whole movie pretty much.
That was pretty good. I mean, this movie is pretty good.
And the problem is she was misguided. She should have stayed at school and learned a little bit more.
You know what? This is one of the perfect example where like the movie is smart, right? So it's not appreciated. It's kind of like that meme I saw probably just a few days ago. I just sent it to you, right? It's like there's like 12 seasons of Duck Dynasty, but there's only one season of Cosmo, and it got canceled.
Hey! Don't be hating on Duck Dynasty.
Oh, I'm not hating. I'm just saying like I could say like, hey, there's more than 10 seasons.
It sounds like you are compared.
There's more than 10 seasons. Okay, let me change it. There's a lot of seasons of the Kardashians. And then there's only one season of Cosmo.
Here's the problem. There's only one season of Cosmos because they didn't promote it right.
But it's also, even if they promote it right, it's like...
No, they could have. That problem is the same thing. They did not take the money.
They did not.
Duck Dynasty was profitable.
First of all, they may not even have any money to promote something
Cosmo,
like this.
And the Cosmo, after they did one, they didn't really seem to want to do another one. They just kind of talked about it. They could have done another one. Because I'm going to tell you, out of the two of us, who went and bought Cosmos?
Oh, you did.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, and also because you can watch.
So, that's why Cosmos didn't do very good.
And also, like, hey, come on, what kind of sponsors are they gonna get? If we're gonna compare to the Kardashians, like they have like all kind of people
Oh yeah.
backing,
Well,
that kind of
they got a lot of
funding
stupid
too.
people. Okay, so the audience is
You
not
said
all that
stupid
intelligent.
people.
You said Kardashian, so I mean,
I didn't put stupid with that. It's just like, hey,
oh, I'm
whatever,
sorry.
whatever
I
floats
do.
your boat, man. That's all I'm
It
saying.
does. I put stupid too.
Heather,
Every time
Heather
I put
watches that
stupid.
show, but not like paying attention to it. That's background noise for her. It's something that she doesn't have to pay attention
Well,
to.
Cosmo is background.
Oh no, I cannot do back. Every time I listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson, like it's my full attention. And when I went to his show a couple of weeks ago, I, I like if
Well,
I make sure
I
I
hate
don't
to
drink
tell
any
you.
water, so I don't have to go to the bathroom.
I hate to tell you, it's still background noise for me.
Oh no, it just it's
I didn't pay
different,
attention.
man.
I mean, I paid attention the first round, and I go watch it. I'm like, okay, I know this already.
Let's see, what else I put?
You should have came out as a season 2, so it would be background noise. And a
Yeah,
season 3, and a season 4. And matter of fact, they could have made it. It would have made money.
yeah.
It's not like it lost money. It didn't lose any money.
No, I guess not. No, I
It
mean,
really, it's probably made by Fox. Because you know why I say it's made by Fox? Because when
what's
they have
that?
a good show and everybody starts watching it, they cancel it.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
like
Oh yeah, yes,
Netflix.
yes,
And
yes.
Netflix, same thing as Netflix. Hey, we got a hit. Let's cancel it.
Let's cancel,
Let's
and
make
then like
something
we bring it
new.
back.
Yeah, let's just make it new. Because people will watch it when we bring it back. People like forgot already. I mean, there is so much going on this planet. Nobody remembers anything. And that's the way the
Oh
world works. Because it's like, as soon as we got a problem over here, we'll just make a problem over here. Boom,
yeah,
we're good. Same
yeah.
thing with networks. Yeah, this one show is great, but it's costing us too much. Well, we'll just make another show.
And you know
Cancel
what's
it. Nobody will know.
weird about this movie for me? They had to have that 2 year gap. For me, I don't know about you. I didn't think that was needed. The 2 year gap, because they showed 2 years later within that town. Do you think that was
Oh, was
needed?
it? I thought was it 2 years?
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
two
well, it
years.
didn't bother me because you know the movie starts as a 5 year deal where he's stopping in 5 years earlier.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
when Paul Bethany's walking through their backyard,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
It started like that.
then
Yeah.
it's 5 years. So it didn't. I really didn't phase me at all. I didn't really have a problem
Oh,
with it.
maybe
I was
just to make
more
that
interested. I
connection.
think I was
Okay.
more interested. I think if you're to watch the movie a second time later on, maybe a month from now, you'll probably get more out of it.
Yeah, it probably had to something when we talk about AI again.
Because you know, I watch it. Like I said, I don't think I saw the beginning, and then I thought it was kind of a horror movie, and I even left the movie still thinking Johnny Depp's character was a bad guy.
Oh, I
It's
know.
this
It's
time when you leave it, you leave. I left it thinking, okay, maybe he's a still good guy, but he still acts like the machine now.
you know
And I think the thing is why he was in the machine, he probably had a hard time separating himself from
from
the program. It wasn't until he made a person of himself and go, okay. But he was
oh
basically like you
that's
said, he trying to make his wife happy.
he is, and
And he
it's so
actually
funny.
though, the only reason he ended it though, because he loved his friend too.
Oh yeah, because he actually said that, hey, I'm gonna be gone. You're gonna be the one that has had to hear about it for the rest of
Yeah,
your
you got
life.
to hear it for the rest of your life.
Because they
But
both know how she is.
but you know, at the end he has his memory where he sees Paul in there
Yeah.
with his back turned, trying to figure out how he's going to do all this.
You know
And
what?
plus, Paul's character was always against all this, anyways.
Yeah.
But he went and did this.
Because
So
he Johnny Depp made a point, like, because there's always that chance, like, it's not gonna work anyway.
plus, I also
They
like
know
it.
that.
Another thing is I also like it, and it's the one you'll never prove, and I've said it 100 times. They asked him, "So, are you self-aware?" So,
Oh
of course, the computer's like, "How do you know you're self?"
yeah.
Hey, okay, how do you know?
I'll become
100%. I
self.
mean, I'm sure there's a way, but nobody's figured it out. But the problem is humanity, and the thing was for Rebecca's Hall as it was going, she wanted him to be alive in the computer so bad that this could have turned out badly because it could have been the other system, and she would have never known because she
So
wanted it
let's
so
talk about
bad.
that. Let's talk about the human emotions into this. So I asked Heather today, like, hey, so I told her kind of like a synopsis of this movie, and I told her, like, if I were to be gone, right, and if this is possible, would you want someone to upload my consciousness to a computer? And she said no.
Yeah.
Would
Well,
you? Because like a lot of
do I
people,
want
like,
to be uploaded? Well, the thing is, it's like, do you want to die or not?
no. So let's
But
just
the
say,
thing,
hold on. Before
okay,
you
go
go
ahead.
on to that, I want to bring this
All right,
up
go ahead.
because we talk about transferring your consciousness. Is there a way that I could still be alive but transfer my consciousness
But that's
into
the
the
problem.
computer? I mean, because you're
Only in
just
chat,
transferring like,
only in Chappie.
oh, good. This is only in Chappie.
But the
Okay.
problem is, it depends on what you think about your consciousness. into the machine is. What is it? Is it going to be you, or is it just going to be something that
Thoughts.
simulates you?
I guess just thoughts and
Well,
ideas, maybe.
well, that could be already done. I mean, or let's put it this way:
Oh, okay. Like a AI. Yeah,
when you
okay.
write a book, an author writes a book, there he's already transferring his stuff from him to paper.
To paper.
So if you transfer it to a machine, it's about the same. You're just transferring stuff so people get on there and see
But
your
I was
thoughts, your
thinking
ideas, your
about like
memories,
it could
and it
branch off
may.
and have new thoughts and like routes and
Yeah, but see,
storylines.
the problem is if it starts thinking and doing its own thing, then there's another you. It's a clone of you in a machine.
Hmm.
But it's but the thing is, it depends on how far machines can really go. Because me, I don't think anybody will ever be able to put their consciousness in a machine. They may be able to put enough, so much, like I said, AI can probably fool humans because humans are really easy to go, yeah, it's got to be real because it can answer all these questions.
Right.
Because you can put so much in there that you'll never find a question that it can't answer to stump it. Like in was it iRobot? Because remember when it shows the doctor appears, he asks questions. The doctor answers questions. Then he asks questions. I'm sorry, I can't answer this question. You need to ask a
Ah,
different question.
yes.
See, he stumps him fine, and then you realize that's not a real person.
Yeah.
See, that's the same thing with things that call you automatic AI. You can call even Alexa.
Yeah.
You can talk so much until you stump her.
Oh,
But
yeah.
eventually you won't. And then people will assume that she's real. Even the people that made her will go, well, she
Oh.
must be real and subconscious. I'm like, well, the problem is we will never be fast enough and talk fast enough or think fast enough to ask enough questions to
To
beat that
stump.
now.
Yeah.
Because you got to think she's getting answers from everybody on the planet by just listening to them talk. I mean, that's like a chat AI, chat AI, and all
The
that stuff.
Chat
It can,
GPT. Yeah.
yeah, it can constantly get answers because it's getting answers from everything. It's like art, artificial intelligence art. We think it's creating something, but it's no. It can take a picture of this room and draw everything different, and it always draws it in somebody else's style. It can do it in Picasso style, but it's doing it in somebody else's style.
Yeah. We
It's
talk about
never
you.
doing.
You pointed out
It's
before. It
it
would
is
never have
never doing
original.
exactly. It is
Yeah.
never doing it in its own original
It's
style.
just combining things that is already existed out there and then
And I mean,
expanding on that.
and people argue, oh well, humans paint somebody else's style. Yeah, to a point to
But
learn,
but then
but
it's going to
nobody
have
will
that
ever.
artist
Yeah,
touch to it. Yep.
you will never, unless you're copying somebody else's painting, they'll know this is not so and so's painting. I mean, there's people that study art. They can go, well, he may have trained with Picasso, he may have trained with so and so, and it's got that style, but that is not his painting.
Yep.
That's not the way he does brushstrokes. It's
Yep.
similar, but the problem is the machine is going to have to copy somebody's brushstrokes.
Yeah, because it doesn't
It's
have
not going to
its
make.
own.
It's never
Yeah.
going to make its own. It
Right.
may use three artists' brushstrokes to make a painting, but it's somebody else's.
Yeah.
So
So
there is a limit to what a machine is.
so was
We can't tell the difference.
so was there anything that you didn't like about this movie?
Yep.
So the only one
I
thing
mean,
it weirded me out, right, was when he uploaded him like he could talk as that person, the foreman. Like it's Johnny
Yeah.
Depp's voice is coming out of
yeah,
him.
because it could change his vocal cords.
Yeah, vocal cords. And the other thing is like he actually made like an organic manner, which one thing I love about this is the nano machines because they talk about that in one of my favorite
Yeah.
games ever, Metal Gear
Oh yeah.
Solid 2.
Metal Gear
They're
Solid.
nano machines because it can heal properties, and I freaking love that.
But the thing is, you also think it gets up in the air, gets in the water, gets in everything. And plus, if humans drink it, anything drinks it, it gets control of them.
Yeah.
See, that's where it's creepy because see, he can go too far.
Yep. Or it's her ideas in him that gone too far. That's how I see
Yeah,
this.
well,
It's
he
her.
took it too far. But the problem is, a human would take it too far, but a machine will take it too far too. Because in the end, a machine, let's say we make a sentient machine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you make a sentient human, like say you have kids,
Whew.
do you really have that control of your kids? You made them; they're sentient.
No, it's
Do you think they're going to sit down and do whatever everything job you tell them for the rest of their life?
no. And I try to teach him not to.
You try to teach them not to, but even if you teach them to, they're just going
Oh,
to.
I'm trying to teach him not to listen to everything I say
No,
eventually.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, I
Yeah.
know what you get, but you want them to teach them right. But
Yeah.
other than that point, let's say you want them to change the world. You teach them to change the world, and you teach them everything. You think you could really control them? Because if you think
No,
that, then you're.
it's
Because that's ignorant. See, that's
Yeah.
and that's the problem. Scientists think, oh, we can create this sentient machine. We're going to make a sentient machine. I'm like, why would you want to? Do you think it's really going to follow you? Because you are not going to be smart enough by the time it realizes it's sentient.
yeah.
And it's also going to realize I don't actually have to do anything you want me to do. I mean, the problem is, think about a human.
Yeah.
I mean, we go to jobs and stuff because we want something for
Right, yeah.
ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But the machine's sitting there going, I really don't need money. I don't need food. I don't really need anything. I don't need the human race.
Oh, okay, Skynet.
But no, well, it won't just be Skynet. See, people think that, well, the machine's going to be good. I'm like, the machine might be good, but why? What incentive does the machine have?
But isn't that a human way of processing when you think about incentive? Like the way
But
that you just said it, like it would
no,
never come
sentience
to
just
that
living.
right?
You got to think wild animals are sentient. A wolf is sentient. Let's say you take him, bring him in your house, raise him real good and stuff. One day he might decide, no, I am tougher than you.
Do you think so?
I don't really need you. Tigers attack people. People own tigers. Sometimes their own tigers they raise, kill them. People's own dogs kill them sometimes.
I thought those are just crazy animals.
Humans, kids kill them sometimes.
Wow.
I mean, come on. Sentient means you get to
But then,
choose.
but then,
No.
but
That's the thing. We keep saying, oh, human. No. Sentient means you get to choose your path.
yeah, but then we just think that, right? I mean, like, there's no way for me to agree to that. Like, hey, I mean, I do. I mean, there's
Well,
way to
no.
fully trust it.
Well, there's no way to fully trust anybody.
Yeah,
That's the same thing.
that's the thing,
Once something becomes sentient, you can't trust it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
right?
But these scientists already think they can trust it because they built it. It's going to be used for good. I'm like, once it becomes sentient, you don't own it no more. It's not a machine.
So the way that you said it, right? It does sound like you're writing a movie plot.
Well, I'm not writing a movie plot.
But
I'm
like,
just trying to tell.
yeah,
I'm just trying to tell you
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I get that.
that scientists needs to think that once they become sentient,
It's no control.
they do not
Yeah,
get to pick its direction anymore. It
yeah.
picks its own direction. They could have taught it like like I said, your kids. You taught your kids to be good, and maybe they'll go out in the world and be good.
Yeah.
But
But then
sometimes,
why wouldn't it like in the I guess the counter argument, like what if they're just like Sunny from iRobot? It knows right from
yeah,
wrong.
and that's the same. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
But Sonny could pick to kill people if he wanted to. That's what I'm trying to understand. Everybody thinks, oh, it could be good. Yes, it can be. It can also be bad. Anything can be good, can be bad. And you can't stop it once you make it.
Well, okay. So the definition, like I think, how I don't know how to explain it. Like that's good, right? That's evil, and I'm thinking in a way a machine like
Yeah.
it just doesn't really, I guess in a term like be good. It's just
Evil,
like that.
yeah. But the evil in the end is just it may have its own reasons for killing people.
Stupid humans and
They don't
stupid
make it. They
choices.
don't make it evil in its own mind. It's maybe I'm trying to fix this, and the only way to fix this is to wipe out this group of people. Same thing with, but you got to think though. Let's say you're sick. How do you get over your sickness? You take a medicine that wipes out the evil viruses that's in you, which are living creatures.
Hmm.
Same thing with your yard.
So
I got an ant hill out there. Those ants are cleaning up bugs, dead bugs. They're doing all kinds of good things for you. But the ants are in your way. So you wipe out that ant hill. You got to think at one point that machine's going to see us as an ant hill.
So what you want
Will
is
always see us as an ant hill.
So
it will never.
what
be.
I'm concluding from what you're saying is that whenever we build a machine with AI, the humans needs to be God to the AI that we created.
I don't know. That could be dangerous because we already saw what happens that in Aliens. Remember, David's like, I thought you were a god, but it didn't turn out you weren't.
This is this movie gold magic with David and the aliens thing, like everything that we ever talked about. Like that's why, like, and I'm surprised that this movie got made, right? Because I was telling Heather, like, hey, this movie doesn't have a great solution. It's just like, hey, it's out there. It just make you think. There's
That's
no
some
like,
of the best. That is the best movies.
I agree. I highly agree with you.
And that's the thing. That's a lot of movies that are really you got to think that give you issues. You got to think, and they're even deeper than the writers back like Passengers. I still hear people telling you how horrible Passengers, how horrible Passengers. I was like, you really need to look at Passengers.
But then hold on, you also list that like people go to movies to be entertained, or they don't want to go to movies.
Some people do, and you do. But
I do. Yeah, I do. You and I are one of those.
I mean, sometimes we got to sit down and just be entertained. I mean,
yep.
But I mean, most of these, and some people. But the problem is, I guess it relies on you. Like me, I'm not going to watch a movie about real life. Normally, I mean, there's some, but a lot of movies are real life. This is so and so's life, and here's all the problems.
This could be close to it though. Transcendence.
I go to work. I live a life. This is more. This ain't real. This is not yet.
That's what, you're bringing up the entertainment point.
Yeah, this is an entertainment deal, but it's also one with questions.
Yeah, this is one with questions I like. I mean,
Yeah.
I like thinking about like, well, what if it's like
It's
this?
what if you do this? What if you do it? It's not a
Yeah.
preacher. It's not a preaching movie. It's because at the end, because the way the movie ends, you're not 100% that Johnny Depp was going to do all the good right things anyways.
Yeah.
He did, and that's how the movie ends. But
And that's
went
why he did.
on,
He took the virus because that's what she
yeah,
wanted, and
yeah,
he lives for her. He
yeah.
like him,
But there
Johnny
was a
Depp as
point,
the AI. He didn't even want to. He never thought about stopping the virus. He
yeah,
just
but
told Jarvis like, "Hey, I can't do both. I either could save her or I take the virus." He doesn't know what to do. He's like
yeah,
the Johnny Depp AI is not in it to be the evil in this case. He's like,
yeah.
"Hey, there's two
At the
paths."
end,
Yeah,
but then at
because
the
he
end,
know he wants to save her, but he also wants that like, well, you want me to take the virus? Which one should I do? I
well,
saw
at the end
that
though, but
decision.
he also did kind of like what Spock would do.
Mm,
She's like either choose the world. She either choose me or choose the world.
yeah,
You can't. So that's what her deal was. You
choose the
choose
world.
me or you choose the world, or you because you can't have both. And he chose. I'll just stay with you and save him because basically she didn't. She said, "Don't let him pay for our mistakes, our
Yeah,
mistakes."
our
So
mistakes.
she
Yeah.
told him that they're together again,
Oh,
and they should have been. And that's all she really wanted to be was just be with him. She
this
didn't.
movie is
She didn't want.
good.
She didn't even want to create a super machine, and she didn't really want to change the world in the end.
Yeah, she just wanted him. She just wanted him to die so early. That's what like a lot of
Well,
people emotionally driven.
all she wanted to do was just be with him.
Yep.
She wanted to hang on to him no matter what, and that's the problem.
Oh,
But the thing is, it's the thing is in the end is you. I mean, you. There's a reason people don't. There. I mean, we cure and we fix all kinds of things, but no one's ever fixed death. They
no,
prolong your life, but they never stop it.
you
And
cannot
maybe there's
fix
a
that.
reason you can't. You maybe there's a reason people should never ever do. I mean,
Oh,
it feels fair because I mean, you don't ever want to get the end and you stop. I mean, somebody goes, "Hey, here's okay, we can extend it." You're going to take it. Almost everybody's going to take it.
yeah.
I mean, people spend thousands of dollars even when they're at the very end. Some people get their heads cut off and frozen because they think, "Well, maybe they'll bring me back."
Mm.
You know, I mean, nobody wants to because nobody knows what's at the end of it, or does it? I mean, you almost have to have a lot of faith,
Oh,
and that's why there's religion because you're going to go, so you better pick something. It's
yeah.
like atheists; they don't believe anything. So to me, and I'm not judging them on the choices, but I'm like, isn't that kind of a waste for your logic that you just end all the
I
things
don't
you've
man.
seen, all the things you know, all the experiences you had, it just ends.
Yeah.
That's it for them.
It could be chaotic. I mean, like.
Well, I mean, everybody's got their own ideas, but see, that's the only reason that people keep looking for more stuff. Some people think they need to, as other people don't. But the problem is, I mean, if you're going to live forever, then why do you need kids? Because you're just going to be in their way.
Oh, day in your way.
Well, they're in your way. I mean, well, the thing is, there can only be only so. I mean, unless we can get out into space and travel all the stars, there's only so much room on Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much money to go around. There's only so much food to go around. You're taking from somebody else. You stay too long. I
Well,
mean, I'm not saying it's a wrong thing, but like I said, if we're stuck here on this rock continuously, people go, "Oh, we'll go to Mars." Well, maybe we will eventually,
you know what? I just noticed that in this movie,
but
right?
we're
Like,
not doing it anytime soon. I don't think.
yeah, I don't either. Like, besides we talk about time travel, I would never thought like this movie had brought one of the best AI conversations, And this is not even the best movie to do this, but
No, but this is a pretty good one.
this is a pretty good one. This
This
is
is a
high
pretty
on our list.
this is a pretty good movie. I mean, the acting was top notch.
No,
Wasn't
the
too
acting was
long.
good. It wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't too long. They got straight
wasn't
to
too
the
long.
point.
I mean, there is some silly stuff like, hey, let's go. Let's say they put nanas in the air. There's not so hard. Most of the planet is now controlled by nana people,
Yeah,
and they know Johnny Depp's character can control people. And they're like, hey, let's go get some cannons, some bazooka stuff, and go to town and put herself in a little building and get surrounded by all the people that
he
even
controls.
if they weren't, but here's the thing, even if they weren't, I mean, come on, think about this.
Oh,
Why
even
would you
if they
go to
weren't here,
town?
yeah,
It's a lot. Yeah, even if he didn't control their mind with the nanuts, he already rebuilt their town.
yep.
They're already going to be
So
loyal
it's
to
like
him.
very Pablo Escobar.
Barry, you do not go to a town and set up against somebody who has say changed everybody's life.
Yep. For
Why
the
would you
better
do
too.
that?
Yeah, for the
Yeah, for the
better.
better. Because what have you done for them? The United
So
States government in this picture and those terrorists never done anything for these people. They've just wrote these people off.
yep.
And they just came to the town to kill their provider.
To provide
So
it and like, they damaging everything. They don't even care who they hurt in that
yeah, they were
process.
shooting. Man, come on, that guy gets up the line and they shoot him. That kills him after the nanites leave.
Oh.
So, like I said, the terrorists, the government killed a lot of people in this
Their
movie.
logic is just to like, oh, he's dead already. Like,
But the
no,
problem
it's
is
not this, not
but
the
a lot of
form,
people
but the
probably
other
want to
way.
argue that, oh, well, he's controlling those people, and he could have, but he did also say that if they really wanted to, they could have just quit and left
Yeah, the
because
free
he was
will.
just linking them together. But the problem is, it better never be, oh yeah, this is a good idea for why we want to link humans together. No, you don't really ever want to link humans
No.
together because somebody always control. Because I mean, that's the way people use religions and stuff and link people together and then tell them what to do. Hey, by the way, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with like the healing part without causing anything because I
So
like
the healing, well, you love the healing part
I
because look,
love
the
the
little
healing
thing
part.
goes in there, and eventually, I'm sure that you don't need a sentient AI to do that. You just need a good AI program
Yeah,
that we
just
can
if yeah.
control. I mean, that's the problem. AI is not bad. It's when you decide to make it think on its own. Because I'm like, if it thinks on its own, it might decide it doesn't really need to heal you.
Yeah.
If it thinks on its own, it might get depressed. If it thinks on its own, it might decide it's above you.
I mean, like I can't or cannot agree. I can't or can
But you
agree
got to
with you.
think.
Yeah,
Here's the worst thing
it
about
might not never get depressed like those
here's the thing about
feelings,
sentient
the emotions.
beings. Yeah, sentient beings. I want to tell you about sentient beings. First thing they want to do is survive.
Okay, how do we know that for sure?
There's nothing that's living that ever wants to die.
But then it
Nothing.
knows it's not living though. You know, I'm saying like,
It
how do we know?
it's
Like when you say
what
like,
now it
no,
does
no, when you
now.
say
No,
like
it
it gets
is living now.
depressed, right? Like, how do we know that it had that emotion? How
How
do
do
we
we
know
know
we
it
have
won't?
these
But
emotions?
like, how do
I
you
mean,
know it
that's what I'm
won't?
saying. I don't know.
Because everything else does.
But then you're no because but we can't judge this by everything else, right?
You got to now because it's sentient.
See, I don't understand that.
So you keep thinking it's a machine now. You keep seeing it as a machine. But
Yeah,
once you make it sentient, it is a machine, but it's not a machine.
but then we also question like the emotion,
It
like the
doesn't want to be
emotion.
unplugged.
Let me think about this. Like
Do you want to
maybe,
be unplugged?
but that's different. I'm not a machine.
No. You're not built by humans, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but then this thing is built
No,
by
no, no.
humans, right? Like,
Exactly. But
but
it
then it's
doesn't
not
matter
gonna have
now.
the. It might not even have the same
Well,
emotions about that, though.
technically you are built by humans.
Yeah, technically, yeah, built by humans.
You
But
are
I'm
built by
saying,
two humans.
but
So
I'm saying like the machine might not have that logic about like, oh, I want to survive though. That's what because that's all we're basing this argument
the
on.
machine may,
But
but
they
it's
might
going to
not.
choose. But no, listen to me. The machine gets to choose that.
Well, it does. But then,
No, it's not. It gets to decide. Oh, these people are scared of me. I'm going to let them shut me down and
but
just
then
send them.
even have
Or it
that
may
thought
decide,
process. No,
but
I'm
it's going
saying
to
like
have it.
I think a lot of us, right, not just you, we gotta stop thinking the machines or whatever like things like every human else. I'm saying like they have a next level
You
of
keep thinking
thought.
that's human thinking, but that's not human thinking.
But you just say they want to survive. That's a human thinking.
No, it's not.
Oh, like
Your
living
dog wants to
thing.
survive.
Yeah,
Your
yeah, I know.
cat wants to
But like
think.
a animal
But it
instinct.
is now a living thing that's sentient.
I don't even know how could you compute that right now.
You know why you can't
Because you
compute
say like
that.
suddenly a machine is a living thing, but then it doesn't
It
need
is
food or water.
sentient. It's a living thing. It doesn't need food. Why do you need food and water? Because this is by your own arguments. You got to quit thinking like that in terms of
Right, but
humans.
then so why would we call it? Then if we do that,
There is
you know,
other living things that don't need food and water on this planet. Not everything needs food and water. Not everything needs oxygen. Some things breathe in carbon dioxide.
oh something, yeah, some plants breathe in carbon dioxide.
Some things, I mean, a lot of things breathe in everything. And there's a lot of stuff in space that we don't even know about.
That is true too. And then
So, I mean, sentient,
so
we're
it
not
goes
talking
back to
about
what I'm thinking. Like so,
sentient
I
means
think I
you're
told you I
aware.
can't remember.
You make your own
So
decisions.
you know how like on this world, right? It's always like male, female, reproductive organs, right? And I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, how about outer space? Maybe they don't even have that. There's no male or
Oh, well,
female.
go back to,
Yeah.
we can go back. You can stay on Earth for everything. Not everything on Earth works that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There
Are you
is
talking
some
about like the
animals. There are
frogs
some males. There are some males that have babies on
without
animals
having
that have
reproduction?
babies.
Like the
No, they have to. They have it, but they carry it for the female. Then there are creatures that don't have to have a male or a female. They just make it
oh no,
themselves.
I'm not talking about just the male or female. I would like a third sex instead of male and female. Like that's one thing out there that's not male or female. It's just its own thing. Do we
So
have anything on Earth that's like that?
how would you register that? I mean, you
Oh,
can't
I don't
register
know.
them.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I mean, the third would just be both.
I guess a lot of stuff I don't understand machines, but like people put a lot of thoughts into like, well, it's gonna want to survive. It's gonna want to wipe out human beings. But then like these
Well,
are
it's
just
not.
theories, though.
That's the thing. It's not. But that's the problem. You keep going back to that. The problem is what I'm saying. It gets the pick.
Yeah,
It's gonna be. It
I
picks.
need a
So
lot
you
more
see. The
convincing.
thing is, you can't decide it's gonna be good or bad. It
No, you
decides it's
can't.
gonna be
You
good.
can't. Yeah, and he might not
That's
even.
what I keep
But
saying.
then also, he might not even decide that. Like, he might not
I
even.
know.
Yeah.
But are you willing to take the risk
Yes.
that it gets to decide to be bad?
But then if I take the risk, it might never do that though.
You know. But when it does, you can't beat it. So you're gonna be dead.
So what happens in this scenario? It does that, right? Like we just hold to the plug, and
See,
when it
it's
does,
not a
it just
human. See, it's not a human. See, because a human. See, if a human grows up to be bad, you usually can shut. You can eventually stop them.
yeah.
You can always stop them. Animals, you get an animal, it turns to turn on you and be
Yeah.
bad. You can stop it. Everything is you stop. A machine, if it decides to turn bad, you may not be able to stop it.
What if you just unplug it?
Could you?
Yeah. It
What
doesn't
if
want
he
no
acts like he's?
batteries.
What if he already knows that you can unplug it? Because got to remember, he's not stupid. The machine is
So
now
let's
smarter
just
than
say the
you.
machine is just a thing. It doesn't have arms and legs, right? So how is it gonna stop me? I don't
Well,
give it
if
the
you
tools
let me
yet.
put it this thing though, if you build it like that, let's say you built it in that little box,
Like a computer, yeah.
yeah, and it's not hooked up to anything.
No.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why we test this out first.
but you know how stupid people are. It would be on the internet. It would be on the internet before you were. And it's sort of like, oh, I already multiplied myself outside the internet.
Oh, I'm saying like you
So,
just do that, but without connecting it to the internet. Like seeing
yeah,
how the
well,
test goes first.
people do stuff like that.
With
But, I mean,
limitations.
but it always goes wrong.
It sounds like a movie. It always goes wrong.
It always going to be a movie. It is all, life is a movie.
Because if life is a movie,
People have
then
accidents
the
with stuff all the time.
good guys
People know
always
there's stuff that
this
people know
world.
is,
The good guys doesn't always win though.
the good guys don't always win. So that's why I'm telling you. Why would you want to make a sentient machine then?
But you just said that this movie is like it's like a movie.
So
Oh, I
life is
don't.
just
I'm not
like a
saying
movie.
that I do.
Okay. Well, go. You sound like you really wanted to because you're like, I said, would you do that? You, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we should do that.
I mean, like we can, but then like I don't. A lot of people.
Why? Let me ask you this. Why does it got to be sentient?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like I don't understand what that sentence is actually.
Or why does it got to make its own decisions and come up with its own ideas?
Oh, I'm saying that it won't.
Then
I'm
it's
saying
not,
it won't
then
be
you
able
don't
to.
want. Then you don't want true AI, sentient AI.
Oh, I don't think AI works. I mean, from my view, I don't think AI would be able to work like that. Like,
Yes, that's what I'm getting. But people want it to work like that. People are trying to make it work like that. Why
Oh,
do they got to do that?
it's
Why
too
can't they
tough.
just stick? Why can't they just stick with the AI that we know that doesn't pick its own
Isn't it a
decision? It just
scientist
does.
thing? Like what you just asked it is a
I
scientist
guess.
thing to see like
I'm
what are the
sure. I
limits,
don't
right?
know.
Like, you know.
You talk to a scientist. You go ask him.
Oh, that might take
Say,
me all
hey,
day.
dude, do you want to make a deal? And he could tell you all this. But then the question would be like, no, would you do it?
It would have to work in a way that
Some
my
scientists
mind
do
thinks
because
works.
a lot of people think because if it thinks up on its own, if it can think on its own, it can come up with ideas that humans could never come up to, and they could save the world. But the problem is, like I said, if it can think on its own, it might decide, why do I want to fix your problem?
Oh yeah,
Because
you
it's
know
not
what?
really
Like,
my
oh,
problem.
I think my version of AI is just with limitations. There's some things that it cannot do. You know.
Well,
Like,
that would you, but that's not sitting it then.
no, it's not.
Because see, you can't put limitations
Oh,
on
then I
sitting
would.
alive.
Yeah, I would put limitations on all my stuff.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's sitting it means you can't limit.
So
You
you're
could think
trying to
you're limited.
say that we're going to be part of the terrorist group.
I'm not going to be part of the terrorist group. I'm not going to go poison somebody. That's just dumb.
Not to that extreme, but we understand.
No, I would never. Yeah, I would never. I'm not against harming somebody because they want to know something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not either. Yeah.
That's going to extremes. Like people bomb abortion clinics.
Oh,
Does that make any sense? Really, it's like I'm pro
oh,
life.
that's just
I killed 5 doctors. I'm like, doctors save people. I don't know. Just because you don't like their methodology. I mean, I'm not saying one way or I'm what I'm for or anything, but I'm just saying you can't say you love somebody, you love people, and you kill people. I mean, it just
yeah,
doesn't work that way.
yeah. That's
That's
exactly what happened in this movie.
that's the thing. It's like eco terrorists. It's like, oh, we're gonna go bomb a car lot. I'm like,
Why?
why? Yeah, because you don't like it. Why don't you come up with a better platform? Talk about it. Show people or give people a better idea. Like, for example, people want somebody to drive electric cars. Well, first of all, how about you get out there, put more electric stations out there? How about you help design better batteries? How about you do something instead of cry and kill people
Crying and complaining about it. Yeah.
or killing people? I mean, people kill somebody. It's like, should I really want to go with them? No, I don't. I
Yeah.
do not want to go with that. I'm not going to listen to those people. They're just a bunch of murderers. I mean, that's the thing. That's the problem though with terrorists. A lot of them they go, oh, we got our way. We're going to do this.
It's
We're
just
going to
that they
we're
stuck
going to
on that one belief.
we're going to
Yeah.
create so much death and force you. I'm like, all right, so you're going to be just like these people, forcing me to do this way. It's like, why do I want to go that way? Because if you can only kill people, you apparently don't have a good idea.
Yeah. It just.
I mean, the problem is in this world, there's internet, there's all kinds of good technology, even though the internet's used mainly for Facebook and making up bull crap. But because that's the thing, they always say that, oh, the technology, the internet's going to be so great. I'm like, we got the internet.
I would say
It
that your
can be
last
great.
statement is you age yourself because a lot of people are on TikTok. I know you and I are not on TikTok.
I've seen TikTok.
Oh,
It's even worse. It's even worse. The
I
first.
don't even have the app or even watches it because
Oh, I
you
got
know
on it.
me.
I
I
thought, what a
don't like
bunch of.
vertical videos, so I never watch that stuff.
Well, I mean, I mean, if you like that, I guess you got a really small view of the world. But I mean, the problem is the internet was built to get knowledge. How to
Oh,
dump a
anything on
bucket of ice
TikTok
on
is not
knowledge. Well, it's
knowledge.
not really. It's usually people showing filming short little films and stuff. It's like, hey, this is what it's now. Most films nowadays is me. This is what my teacher said. This is me. This is my girlfriend says. This is me. Ever
Oh,
see that? A lot of people do that kind of stuff, or they're just it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and people are so stupid. Let me tell you, we've taken a step backwards because I was just going to say this is annoys me every time they go, my girlfriend's a 10, but she talks too much, or my boyfriend's a 10. I'm like, if they talk to, if let me put it this way, if you don't like something about them, then they're not a 10. A 10 means perfect and you have no problems. That
mm,
means they're a 9. So you should just say they're a 9 and tell the problem instead of say, oh, they're a 10, but if there's a but, they're not a 10.
yeah,
That's just pure stupidity.
yeah.
You're not a 10 if you got a gripe.
I like that.
Maybe their scale's to 11 or something. I don't know. It used to be to 10, okay? I don't know. That's aging us because apparently the scale goes up to 12, 15 or something. Used to be
Oh,
10.
this no. So our final thoughts on this movie. This movie is great. It's
So it
really
was really
good.
good. It's actually something that a lot of people should watch it.
I agree. People
I
should
mean,
watch this movie.
a lot of people probably just ain't gonna get it.
I mean, like, yeah, yeah, that too. Because I was looking at,
Well, you got to watch it. I actually think you would. You just got to watch it from beginning to end.
I mean, the box office didn't make
Well,
the
of course it
budget,
wouldn't.
so
It was too good.
this movie. I mean, it's got a like you said, like it's got a great cast.
Yeah, it's got a great cast, good acting.
You know, great acting.
I mean, it's not the best movie. No, it's not even
No, it's not the
near the
best
best
movie,
sci-fi
but
movie. It
it
is a
brought a
good
great
sci-fi.
idea.
It's a good sci-fi movie. It was interesting. It's not. It's not a just a action. It's not an action-packed movie. It's just kind of a hey, this is somebody's idea, and you can actually see this idea several different ways. I mean, it tries to tell you that Johnny Depp's the good guy in the end, but you may not even see that way because even at the end, I
See,
mean,
I didn't see it
people,
that way. It's not Johnny Depp's not the bad guy.
yeah, it kind of, but the
It
last time
kind
I
of,
saw it, but the last time I saw it, the first time I saw it, he was the bad guy.
yeah. Now
I
you
ended the
understand
movie,
it
left.
better.
I
Yeah.
left that movie thinking he was the bad guy, and
Hey, but then you keep thinking it was the bad guy until Jarvis brought the point up, like, hey, he never wanted to change the world.
well,
It's
we also brought
you.
up the point. They also brought the point. No, I was thinking it's Morgan Freeman looked around. And he goes, he didn't kill nobody.
Yeah, he didn't kill anybody. Yep.
But they did
It's really
over
good. Like
nothing.
it's just confusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
But the
not.
problem is, the problem is though, you also remember him. He was so smart. John Depp's character was so smart. He didn't really want to explain anything about it. And of course, he's overdoing it. He did overdo it when he was talking to Rebecca Hall and go, "Oh, your hormones went too far,"
Hmm.
because he could. He didn't think about it. He did lose some of his humanity there. And that's the problem. We got to also say, are you willing to lose some of your humanity? Because, like I told you about the implant, goes in your brain. It's make you think faster, pull up memories quicker, and all kinds of stuff. You're going to be. The problem is, you're not really human. You're human with a thing in your head, but you're not. You may be so smart because it's like people that you meet at a college. You know, kids go off to college, they learn a lot of college, they come back and see you. They talk to you like you're nobody because they think, oh, I got all the answers. But I'm like, all you did was open more questions up, and you don't really have any answers.
Hmm.
You know, it's like when you're young in your 20s, you almost know everything, but you don't really know anything.
Yeah.
When you're 40, you realize you didn't know squat. You know, you just had some answers, but you didn't have. You hardly have any of the answers to the stuff you need to make it through the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You may have a lot of answers to do your job, but you don't have or get a good career, but you don't know how have any of the answers. I mean, nobody come back and go, "Oh, I just went to college, man. I'm going to tell you how to raise your kids." No, but a lot of people think they can because they went to college. A lot of people go to college and they think, that, "Oh, I can fly a rocket." Well, I'm like, unless you took the training program, well, I really don't
you
think you
you
can.
brought up the point about like everybody think they know how to raise kids for plus people that have kids when it's one of the greatest memes out there when like hey those are your kids they should just eat whatever you tell them to poop. Yeah, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Is the perfect example of like backwards negotiation of terrorists. Like, hey, come on, I'll give you whatever you want if you just eat this.
Yeah. Or you could be like a terrorist and use violence too. But
Violent. It just makes it like a dinner
I
time,
mean,
a very scary event. We don't
it
even
just
want
makes it
that to
worse,
begin
don't
with.
it?
The only thing that's what me and Heather figured out this past couple of days, right? We've been into the pool every day since Thursday. Thursday we went to the pool. Friday we went to the pool. Today we
Well,
went to the pool. It's because it will tire them out, and once they get out of the pool, they'll eat anything we give them. It was fantastic. It was the easiest feeding ever
you know,
because we're
and
not
let me put
tiring
it
them
this
out.
way. Let's say if you build a machine that's sentient and you're trying to get it to eat what you want it to eat.
Well, it's, first of all, the machines don't eat, but I see your point. Yeah, like you're not
Yeah.
gonna make
Well,
a
well,
someone
let's
do what you
change
want to
food.
do.
Let's change the food for something you need done.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard.
because see, Alexa will do whatever you tell her to, pretty much that she can do.
Right.
But if she was sentient, she don't have to.
Yeah, I still don't think it works like that. I mean, I don't know.
If it's sentient, it will
It's
work. That's the whole point of being sentient. That's what sentient is.
because that's see, I can't, I don't know how to argue that because I don't know enough. I mean, I don't know enough to
Oh,
bring
okay,
a valid point
okay, I
because I
get
don't
you.
know how
Now,
that works. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Yeah,
well,
when
a
it's
lot of
sentient,
people
like
don't know how it
yeah,
works either.
exactly.
But I mean,
But people are
the,
arguing about it, like
but you
oh,
don't.
but
But
I
you
don't
don't want to
know.
get to that point because if you don't know how it works, do not mess with it.
Yeah,
Because then you'll learn the red way. It's
and then
oh,
everybody
it's
pays for the price. Yeah, I do
yeah.
understand that though. Yeah.
Because see, if the scientists do it wrong, then I gotta suffer because I don't want to throw all my crap in the trash. Like at the end of this movie, they didn't have anything. They didn't have internet. Because remember, the guys even use a keyboard as a doorstop. All the machines were
I like
worthless,
that. Yeah, I like that. When they show
and
them
we
in the
can't.
beginning at the end.
And there's really no reason to go back to the beginning of time over technology. You know,
Ooh, can you imagine if we do that? Like, hey, something messed up, and then none of these, all these technology that we have was like
I
worthless
mean,
now.
a lot of people are bad about technology because humankind really does not actually have grasp on its own technology. The internet's a great thing. We just don't exactly know how to use it properly. Instead, we use it to connect to each other instead of actually connecting to each other face to face. We try to do it through a machine. Same
Yeah,
thing with paperwork and stuff. A lot of people don't store all their files and stuff on a computer like they should, and they still have paperwork. Computers are supposed to remove paperwork, and they can, but people do not do it because they don't seem to understand that they don't have to make it
so you
properly.
brought the perfect example of like going paperless statements.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Paperless statements, all that stuff. You don't really need it. The problem is you just need to make up a system that's a little more secure.
But then it's
And probably
this.
and
But you
probably getting better building drives that are better than the ones. the drives we build that are so fast that they don't save information for hundreds of
But then
years.
you bring the same point is like, do we still need to carry cash?
Do you really? I mean, do you?
Oh,
Some people do, some people really want it.
some people
I don't,
still want cash. I
and
don't
it's
like
okay.
carrying cash.
If people want to use cash, use cash. People want to play with check, pay with check. I mean, we have
Oh,
enough
paying
technology.
check is worse than paying with cash.
Yeah, but still, oh, it is. But with good technology, it could actually be very simple.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you ever deposit a check in your account. It only takes a minute, less than a minute. It
It
takes
is.
less than those old people you see writing a check at the grocery store. Why come
I know
they
it's
can't
like
just
right
hand
there.
it to the grocery?
Here's a note
Because
that I'm
that's
writing.
well, here you write it out, and all that they could take care of it right there. They can
Yeah.
know if it's real or right, or if it's going to work right there. But they don't.
Yep.
The machine that they run it through is not as good as the machine that I go home and cash a check at my house quicker than they can at the grocery store, running it through a machine. What is wrong right there? See, it's technology. It's not the checks writing. It's not really a problem, and the cashing it is not a problem. It's the machines that they use to do it are still too slow.
Yeah. Writing a
They're
check.
not smart enough.
Ugh. Ugh.
Like I
Such a
said,
pain.
you can go home and do it in a couple seconds. So why can't they do it?
I don't know. You come from a small town. Is there still people writing checks where you live?
I'm sure there is. I don't know. I
Oh.
don't shop in small town because most towns don't have
But you
stores.
never came across where a person writing a
Yeah, I still
check.
see it. I see people write checks. Old people write checks all the time. That's
You
how
know
they
what? I just thought of a funny idea.
they
So we're
used to
gonna.
do it at the grocery store, and they do it in the big
That's
town. I've
that's.
seen people when I lived in Plano with you. People wrote checks
Oh, I
there if
seen
you
that.
go to the
Yeah, but
grocery
that's been
store.
a
So
while
I don't.
ago. You know, what's really funny now. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a YouTube video out there like going to a self checkout, paying by a check.
Yeah, that would be hard. But like I say, though, the technology is good enough. They can let people do what they choose their money form without having to tell somebody, "Oh, you can't do that no more."
Yeah,
There's a lot of things that tell you, "Oh, you can't do that anymore." I'm like, why can't you?
it's like
That's
one of
all
the
that
things.
does.
Like,
All that does is create another problem. That just makes people think, "Oh, well, you don't need technology. If you can't take this, then we don't need that technology." I'm like, that technology can take that. It's the person that's there telling you the technology can't.
it's like
That's the problem.
it's like one
Yeah.
of those things like paying with pennies, right?
Yeah. Well, nobody really wants to pay pennies. I think,
Unless
but
that person is
they
really
do
mad.
invent this. But they do invent this awesome thing that if you're standing there and they bring pennies, you go, "Oh, there's a coin star over there. Use it, and then come back."
No, I don't have
I don't
to
know.
because you take cash, right?
I'd be like, "Nope, not
Yep.
now.
Nope. You take cash, right?
I take cash."
Yeah, like government entity. I'm not going to go to a coin store because they charge a fee. Because if they charge a fee, are you paying for my fee? I am going to pay you $4,000 in pennies.
Okay. Well, thank you,
Yep. So with that,
Kramer.
so, so with that, we're out of here. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.